Welcome to Hotline TV. I'm Quinn McCord.
And I'm John Mercurio. Well, Quinn, you've been saying all day that there are bigger political stories out there than John Huntsman. So go ahead. Go ahead, Quinn, master of political stories.
Yeah.
Give it your best shot. What's so big, what's so important that it's bigger in your mind than taking a potential 2012 Republican presidential challenger off the ticket and sending him to China?
John, I'm not a math expert, but 2010 comes before 2012. And there are a couple of big 2010...
We'll have our producers check that. But go ahead. Go ahead.
We'll fact check that. But, you know, the big Friday story that we were sort of twittering about, or tittering about...
We were tittering.
...on Friday
and twittering.
Was Roy Cooper dropping out of North Carolina Senate race.
That's right. That's a big one.
And I think a lot of people's first reactions was, wow, this is so great for Richard Burr, and it is. What are the Democrats going to do? They're going to have to go do a sort of a B or C level candidate.
Right.
But, you know...
What about John Edwards?
Well,
probably not.
Or Elizabeth Edwards.
Or Elizabeth Edwards, sure.
I think either would be a fine candidate.
High name ID.
Yes, that's one thing they both can claim.
That's sure.
But you know, over the coverage of the weekend reminded me just how deep a bench North Carolina Democrats have. They have all these congressmen. They have most of the statewide office holders, some past statewide office holders.
But most of the Democratic congressmen have already taken themselves out, right? I mean, you've seen Heath Shuler has taken himself out. Brad, what's his name?
Yeah, but Kay Hagan took herself out in 2008 before she got back in.
She got back in, just like the mafia.
And, yeah, I mean, it's just, I think the Democrats are right. This is more about the state and the fact that, the nature of the state and the fact that Richard Burr's not well known more than it is who they have to run, you know, against Burr.
All right, that's good, that's good. Anything else? What else you got?
Well, New York Senate race. Steve Israel, after a call from Barack Obama, said he is not going to primary Kirsten Gillibrand.
Now, you just said something very interesting. Barack Obama actually getting involved in campaign politics. That's probably that's one of the very first times he's done that since his own election.
It is, and we've all noted this is sort of very Bush-Rovian, circa 2002 or 2004. And the other thing we sort of noted is the fact that Carolyn Maloney and Carolyn McCarthy have not gotten phone calls, maybe because either they know they're not going to run, or or they're not scared they're going to run.
Well, they're not scared they're going to run, and they don't have the money to necessarily run a competitive race against Kirsten Gillibrand. And it wasn't just Obama, though, that called Israel. Wasn't it also Chuck Schumer as well?
You know, I'm not sure. You probably know. Was that a rhetorical question that you already knew the answer to?
I think I knew the answer to that. We can have our producers check that once they're done with that 2010, 2012 thing. All right, you know, speaking of Obama getting involved in races, we are seeing some signs that this is starting to happen on a more regular basis. While he was at Notre Dame this weekend in Indiana, I think the activity of his that was sort of overshadowed by his speech at the graduation was that he did some fundraising for some Democratic members of Congress in competitive districts in Indiana. These are, of course, members of Congress who were pretty handily reelected in 2008, but could have tough races in 2010. Now, these are three members who have actually been Brad Ellsworth, Barron Hill, and
Joe Donnelly?
Joe Donnelly, sure. Yeah. They have been, despite the fact that they're in competitive districts, very supportive of Obama's budget, very supportive of Obama's economic stimulus package, and these are blue dogs. I think all three of them are blue dogs. So it's a sign, I think, from the White House that they're going to get involved. That if you're supportive of his agenda, even if you're in if you are in a tough race, this is a White House you can count on to support you. And that's sort of the give and take. You needed that.
And obviously, these members are calculating that Obama is still popular. You know, he won't be a drag on them in their districts. Probably a couple of which probably voted for McCain. I mean, I'm sure they were close. All the districts in Indiana were pretty 50-50, as I recall.
Well, except it went for Obama.
Yeah, but barely.
Okay.
So, and I imagine most of these districts are probably representative of the country, of the state as a whole.
Right.
So yeah, we'll see how many more districts and states he goes around to. And
all right, fine. So the Utah governor race and the new opener race and the 2012 impact and the ambassadorial chairmanship.
Actually, Utah is exciting. I mean, it's a special election in 2010. How many gubernatorial special elections are there ever?
That's another question for our producers to look up when we're off camera. All right, you've done it again, you magnificent bastard. That's all the time we have. I'm John Mercurio.
And I'm Quinn McCord. Join us again next time on Hotline TV.